Colors are indispensable to bakers as they play vital roles in baking activities. While over the years, colors have been used as tools of expression as bakers combine colors to express emotion, age, gender, and reflect a cake decorating theme. It's Baker's World on NTA. Thank you for joining me on the program. I am Funke Oyeyele. On Baker's World today, you will be opportune to learn how to create a cake with many colors, and it will be beautifully decorated. And it will also interest you to know that our guest baker today left broadcasting to start her own baking business. Well, she will be sharing her experiences with us so far. Please stay tuned. On this segment, our guest baker, Mrs. Ine Telma Aku, and our assistant will show us how to make a rainbow cake from scratch. It's really going to be a colorful learning experience, so relax and watch.
So we're going to show you how to make a very lovely rainbow cake here. And to do that, we have 1 kg of butter in here into your mixer. You have, this is sugar, 500 grams of sugar into your mixing bowl, and then you cream them together. This is going to cream for, say, about 30 minutes, 25, 30 minutes. All we're looking for is to get it to light and fluffy. The color you see here is going to get a little bit pale, and the volume will increase by the time we are ready. So you get it to your high speed, and then it begins to cream. You can see it's getting a little more pale right now. We won't be waiting for that. As we're waiting for that, we're going to start breaking the egg. He's going to help to do that. James is able to do that. And we're taking the egg one at a time. There's a reason for that. Just in case there's a bad egg there, you don't get it mixed up into the larger bowl. Usually you are expected to sieve your flour to remove every lumps and dirt that may be in there. As you are sieving, you're aerating the flour. You need the air. It helps your cake to rise better, and it makes it fluffy. And then you also know that after sieving this, you're going to use your baking powder to also help your cake to rise better. Okay, this has been creaming for about 20 minutes or thereabouts. Well, depending on the quantity. I initially said 30 minutes, all depends on the quantity. But at this point, I think this is well creamed. So we're gonna set it aside, and then we'll fix in this this is the egg. We're breaking the first time. And we're going to whisk this egg until it's really foamy. Okay. Okay. It doesn't take long. Just you let it whisk until it's very, very, very foamy. And this process is still incorporating air into your egg. Why do we need the air? We need it to help the cake to be light and fluffy. A natural rising agent is air. Is very essential for your cake to be light and fluffy. At the point when you want to add your flour, you also fold in to get in some additional air to help your cake to be light and fluffy. Very important. You can turn it off now. This is good to go now. So at this point, he's going to add baking powder That's 2 tablespoons of baking powder, and we'll mix properly. So what you're going to do is to fold in. I told you about methods of incorporating air. You can just be observant. What I'm doing here is I turn it around and I cut in. That's what we call folding in. This is another process that brings in air that is very vital for a very nice and fluffy cake, light and fluffy. So you put your flour gradually, and you keep turning one way. Making a rainbow cake, it's very exciting for me because I'm a person of color, and in my work as a baker, mostly our clients are children and they love colors. I know this is going to bring a lot of excitement and fun for every lively child. Yeah, that looks okay. Let's have the flavor. Okay, this batter is good. At this point now, we would need to add colors to the batter. We're adding 7 different colors to this batter, but we're going to portion them into little portions of like 400 grams each. Like for this now, this has been measured. It's 400 grams here for the pan size that we have. And we're going to add like maybe the blue color or red color, orange color here first. And then we do the same thing, measure all of them, divide them into 7 places, and just add 7 different colors. Now, that's a scale. We've got all the 7 colors here. You have the red, the blue, the purple, or yellow, orange, indigo, the sky blue. All is going to give us a rainbow cake. And everything is done, and what is left is to bake this. We're going to take this into the oven. It's going to bake just about 15-20 minutes, and it'll be fine because it's quite really small.
Well, our batter is ready to be taken to the oven. I can't wait to see how it's going to turn out when it comes out of the oven. We'll take a quick break now, and when we return, we'll be conversing with our guest baker.
I told myself, I said, what is cake? For goodness sake, what is cake? I am going to look for where to do this cake right, do it, learn it. I'm going to kill cake.
Ine Thelma Ako, a native of Kalabari, Abonima, River State, was born and raised in Port Harcourt. Ine acquired a bachelor's degree in mass communication and a master's degree in law and diplomacy, both at the University of Science and Technology. Upon the completion of her education, Ine joined River State Broadcasting Corporation and became a broadcaster with over 13 years' experience in the industry. In 2009, Ine moved to Abuja in an attempt to make changes in scenery and her work life. She made several efforts to get back to broadcasting, but for some reason, things did not quite work out as planned. While waiting for a job opportunity, she sought to acquire a skill and empower herself. Her journey into the culinary world started when an opportunity for empowerment and skill acquisition was organized in her church. Her love and passion pushed her further to attend various conventions, trainings, and courses in entrepreneurial management and the cake industry, both within and outside the country. Her efforts and drive paid off eventually, as she not only built a successful brand in the cake industry, but received numerous awards in entrepreneurship and excellence in cake making and decoration. Ine Thelma Ako is a proud mother and wife. Ine has never looked back, always forward in a journey of continuous self-development. Join us as we take our chat with the versatile and eloquent baker, Ine Thelma Ako.
You're welcome back. You're still watching Baker's World on NTA. Changing your overall perspective so you can embrace a philosophy that will help you to achieve your full potential in work and relationship and all walks of life. With me on set today is a woman who has made a giant leap from broadcasting to starting her own career in the baking industry, Mrs. Ine Thelma Ako. You're welcome to the show.
It's a pleasure.
Now, how did it all start from broadcasting to the baking industry?
It's not like something that I envisaged. I didn't see it coming. One thing led to another. I was in Port Harcourt and we had cause to relocate to Abuja, and I got in here hoping I'll be able to do transfer from the civil service ministry, the River State, to the federal civil service. And in the course of doing that, I wasn't really doing anything, and going to church, and something came up, an empowerment program, and I wasn't doing anything, so I decided to join the classes. I was in about 3-4 classes, and at the end of the program we were all told to present what we have learned. And when I saw what I was able to come out with, it was just lovely. And it gave me a lot of joy to see that finally I can do it. Do you understand me? So I told myself, if making a cake like this will give me this joy, this girl wants to be really happy all the time. So I said, let's get doing it more and more and more.
Every client is different. Now, how do you keep up your level of creativity when you have to design or decorate a cake for various clients?
You have to expose yourself to classes regularly, because this thing about cake making is arts, and art is, dynamic. It's not something that is static. Every day you see something, someone is able to come up with something, yes, and it's style. Do you get me? Yeah. And then it becomes trending. And then if you don't go to class, you don't know how the person is able to do that. And another thing, if you're passionate about what you're doing by yourself, you just find new ways of creating. Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. That's another thing I'm going to say. Whatever you call beautiful and you feel confident, then it becomes a style in the industry.
Where do you draw your inspiration from?
I get my inspiration from God, straight.
Let's talk about the rainbow cake that you're making today.
A lot of my clients, majority of the clients are children. Even if you don't want to celebrate as an adult, your kids, you have to make them happy, and they love colors. You understand? Yeah. Every little child jumps at the combination of colors. I've never seen any child that doesn't love the rainbow colors. They all love it. So it's a good one for us to do most of the times.
Now I have to ask you this question. When you made a move to leave broadcasting and start your own career in the baking industry, do you regret it?
I don't have any regrets, because the thing is that whatever you're doing, if you're not happy at what you're doing, then it's not worth it. I'm happy doing what I'm doing. I told you how I started, and it was like, a mess from the beginning. And then getting to see that now this is beautiful and people are coming because of what I have done. The next person is coming to, who did this, who did that? It's success for me. I'm not saying that I have all the money, but I'm happy to be a part of people's special days and all that, to be able to create a centerpiece and, lovely, coming from a place of failure. It's a beautiful thing for me. There are many parts to us as God's children. You don't even know until events, brings them up. And this is another beautiful part of me that I didn't even know that existed. and I'm loving it.
Do you miss it?
I miss it. Sometimes I just want to just go and read the news and just get back to my work, and you know, I miss it really, because I like doing what I used to do. To get me, yes.
Okay. What are the challenges that most bakers face today?
An everyday baker faces one of the biggest challenge is getting funds to do what she desires to do. Like, I know what I've learned traveling, you know, all over the place to learn this thing about cake making, but I'm a little restrained because I don't have the finances to be able to express myself the way I want to. Now, where do I get the money? You go to the bank. It's almost impossible most of the times, because you're just starting, and they don't want to invest in somebody who they think that they cannot, you know, things like that. And sometimes even families don't even believe that you are saying, you know, you can even come up to what you're dreaming, and think it's a huge challenge getting funds and all that, and then getting the right staff to be able to stay with you and grow with you. You know, human resources, it's a major one.
What's your advice for someone who is thinking of making a change in their life from, well, whatever they're doing into the baking industry, or someone who wants to start a professional career in the baking industry? What's your advice for them?
I want to say, believe in yourself, take it one step at a time, start where you are. Don't think that you have to get everything first before you start. We're still building at this point in time. You can't get all the money. You cannot buy all the equipment. There's nothing like that. You take it one step at a time. You make mistakes. You stand up from there. You keep walking. You never, ever give up. That's what I'm going to say.
Thank you very much. It's really been a pleasure having this chat with you.
Yeah.
Well, that was our conversation with the CEO of Rainbow Touch Cakes. Hope you've been greatly inspired by her. We'll take a break now, and when we come back, our guest will continue with the decoration of the cake. Please stay tuned.
Here we are with all the lovely, freshly baked cakes in all the beautiful colors of the rainbow. Everything nice and good. So we're going to now show you how to decorate this cake. And first of all, we whip this. This is a whipping cream that we're going to use. You can decorate this cake however you like it. Using fondant, using the buttercream. You can also use whipped cream. So we decided to do whipped cream today. This had already been well whipped, and all you need to do is to frost your cake. As the rainbow color goes, we start with a darker shade. And so we have the violet color, or you call it purple. Just frost with your whipped cream, one after the other. We take the indigo, and then we add in each of the layers, we add the whipped cream. Then you go with the lighter shade of the blue, orange, and finally we have the red color. That is it. All that whipped cream in there, but like you can see now, they're not well aligned, so we have to do something. We shapen this and put everything, you know, and then when you see this is good, you can toss it into the fridge a little bit to firm it up. When it's a bit covered, we can put it in the fridge to firm up a little bit before we put it on the main board that we want to use for this rainbow cake. This, and then take it into the fridge to firm it up a little bit before we put it onto the main board that we want to use for this. So kindly do that for me now. Just a few minutes in the fridge, and okay, thank you. That's the cake. If you want to use buttercream for this, or with whipped cream. You must have a turntable to do this. Makes your work faster and easier. Smoothing it a little bit here, and that's it. And then you roll it like you want to make a sausage, very tiny one. You roll and you bend them, you keep them to dry. You put a skewer in there and you fix it here. And that is a rainbow. I made some little clouds that's
Wow, well done.
Thank you.
It's really beautiful.
Yeah.
I love the shine on it.
Yes.
Well, we need to cut the cake and see what the rainbow looks like.
Oh, that's the fun part. That's the part I'm also waiting for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's quickly take a dive. And
Ooh, would the knife move it?
yeah, I think it will move it. That's it.
Ooh.
That's it. And then maybe
Really
we just
nice.
cut another one and put. Can you bring that, please? And put here.
Let me see.
That is.
Let me
That is
see.
a lovely rainbow cake.
Wow, it's really lovely.
Yeah.
It's really lovely.
Yeah,
All
beautiful.
the 7 colors.
Yes, complete.
Wow. I love it. It's really yummy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well done, well done.
Thank you.
All the 7 colors in place. 1,
Yes.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, good job, good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, we've come to the end of the show. Hope you've really found it very colorful and fun. You can reach us on all our social media platforms, on our Instagram, Facebook, and Gmail, Baker's World on NTA. Keep it ahead with us until next week. I am Funke Oyeyele.